Hello, and hey, today I wanted to come on here and showcase three paintings that I created back in 2009. They are a triptych, they tell a story. This is oral history that was relayed to me in this exact same living room by my grandfather, John Antone Sr. And the story goes like this. It was the 1930s, and my grandfather and his friend were camping along the Snoqualmie River near Three Forks Park, very close to the Reinig Road and the old mill. And they had just spent a long day working for Mr. Moffat at his farm. And the problem was they had a fire, but they had no food. They were starving, and they hadn't eaten a proper meal in a few days. So they were contemplating, what are we going to eat tonight after a long day of labor in the fields? So the tall gentleman standing by the tent with a hat on, he had an idea. So they decided to borrow, you could say steal, a canoe and paddle upriver to the farm that they had been working at that same day, earlier that day. Now, listening to these stories, he always brought up guardian angels. Whenever there was danger, hopping trains, paddling a canoe upriver, whatever it may be, there were guardian angels all around. So I decided to create a beautiful guardian angel, and you can see she's guiding the canoe, she's preventing it from capsizing, guiding them along by moonlight. So the sun is set, the moon is rising. It's like July. You can see the moonlight. They're on their way back to the farm where they had spent that previous day working as laborers. They had a burlap sack, they had a shovel, and using that shovel, they dug up potatoes in the ground. They knew right where to go. What's funny about this painting is it looks like, and people have commented, that it looks like someone is burying a body in the ground. Looks like a crime is committed and someone's trying to hide a body. Nope, that's not the case in this story. That's actually my grandfather and his friend digging up potatoes and filling up a sack. So some of you have probably driven down near Three Forks Park, or possibly near Tollgate or Meadowbrook, and seen the mist, on a summer night with the full moon out, and you can see Rattlesnake Ridge. That's one thing I love about this painting, is the mist and the atmosphere. So here they are, they've got their potatoes, they get back in their canoe, and they paddle right back to their camp. Here they are back at their camp. And what do? They throw those potatoes right on the fire, which was very common in the Depression. And they cook them until they're charcoal black, and then they eat the center. That was a very common meal. It was a favorite meal. It was very simple to do, just baking potatoes on the fire. And they had very full stomachs, and they were content. They were happy. Finally, about midnight or 1 in the morning, they laid down and went to sleep. Got up the next morning, and they went to work back at the farm owned by Mr. Moffat in the area of Meadowbrook. So the fields around Meadowbrook that used to be the hop farm then became farmland in the early 1900s and beyond that. And Mr. Moffat was the owner. And so he was standing there when they got to work that morning, looking at the ground, shaking his head, and they stood near him, and he was muttering to himself. And then suddenly he says, "Those goddamn bums got into the potatoes again." And that's the end of the story. Hey, so if you have an idea for a mural and you want something on your commercial space, it could be an exterior wall, maybe it's your bedroom wall, we are available to create murals, and we'd love to come. This is a way to preserve local history, and I'm also available to tell stories. So there are events like historical events, even coming to a classroom. I love to tell stories. Obviously, you know that I teach lessons here, and so part of the time I'm pointing at certain paintings and I'm sharing history, folklore, legends. I love to do that. So we are available, and we'd love to come and create something custom for your space, and also in celebration of our local history here in the Snoqualmie Valley. This is an example of the style, one style that we can create. And yeah, we'd love to do it. This weekend is Father's Day weekend. We hope you have a wonderful time with family. Get together, hold each other close, celebrate fathers, and it's going to be a beautiful weekend of weather, nice weather. We'll be down there at the train depot in Snoqualmie playing music on Saturday while folks are visiting the area, riding the trains, and attending Art Off the Rails. I will be doing storytelling and music there between 11:30-ish and 4 p.m. So if you like this kind of stuff, get a hold of us. Very happy to have these paintings back where they're safe, they're high and dry, they're well lit. They're more public now because we have so many families and people that come in and out of our place during our lessons program. Grandparents come in here and sit, parents sit and listen to their grandchildren or their children playing music. And so lots of folks get to see the art, hear the stories, hear the music, and so glad to have these paintings back. And they're safe. They're not hiding in a corner, or they're not, sitting on a shelf all dusty and hidden away or wrapped up. They're on display. So thank you so much for your time today. Have a great day.